Recently, Ripple made two shocking statements that went largely unnoticed. I want to demonstrate to you in this video why the cryptocurrency sector as a whole is currently in disarray, squandering millions of dollars on ventures that will eventually fail, while XRP and Ripple are quietly laying the groundwork for the next financial system. Gentlemen, this is something you really shouldn't miss. It will be really beneficial to you to comprehend your position in relation to the rest of the industry. At the end of the video, I also want to discuss something that will have a significant impact on how markets move in the next few months. Guys, you really can't miss it, so be sure to stay for it. To begin this video, I must briefly discuss the massive loss the SEC recently suffered, and as you are well aware, the SEC has been losing legal battles against Bitcoin businesses on a regular basis. We are aware that the SEC held the absurd belief that XRP was the security, which was eventually disproven in court. As a result, they were accused of being hypocrites and told they had betrayed the law. It was quite embarrassing. However, the SEC's recent experience in the debt box case may have been even worse than the Ripple SEC case. Listen up, guys. This is Metal Lawman's analysis of the recent ruling in the debt box case by the judge. This is basically a reaction to the accusation that the SEC misled the court about certain debt box actions in an attempt to make them appear worse than they actually were. Listen up, guys. This is a very embarrassing loss for the SEC, and it will have far-reaching consequences for the agency. The judge just said as much. The judge in the debt box case has sanctioned the SEC for severe wrongdoing in the case, according to an 80-page opinion that Metal Lawman tweeted. Both the SEC as an organization and the specific attorneys involved in the misbehavior will suffer greatly from the ruling. The judge made it quite evident that the SEC attorneys were not at fault. They misled on purpose in a ruling that will undoubtedly be referenced for years to come by lawyers all around the nation. The judge determined that there was no prejudice in the crucial evidence that the Commission volunteered to gather and support the ex parte RO. Despite this, the Commission purposefully presented the evidence in a deceptive and misleading manner. The SEC flagrantly abused the authority that Congress had given it. The SEC was a threat to the legal system's integrity. The judge mandated that the SEC reimburse the defendants' legal fees. It's a depressing day, the Metal Lawman added. This is really stunning, guys. The SEC is effectively coming under heavy fire for lying fraudulently, and their credibility in the field has taken a serious hit as a result. The SEC has been attempting to project the image that they are on the side of good in this situation. The SEC has been attempting to project the image that they are merely working to safeguard individual investors. However, a judge is currently criticizing them for attempting to deliberately damage the sector without having any supporting evidence. Moreover, fabricating information in an attempt to paint a negative picture of a person. Guys, the SEC is acting in an extremely outrageous manner, and it's precisely this kind of thing that will enable various parties to take drastic measures against the SEC. Folks, this is clear evidence that the SEC is behaving badly, not just seeking to take a strong position against cryptocurrencies, but also specifically violating both their own mandate and the law in an attempt to hurt the sector. Absolutely embarrassing. The good news is that this will negatively impact the SEC in the future, people. Congress will be able to cite specific examples to support their claims that the SEC is failing in its duty to safeguard investors. Congress will not only have evidence from a judge stating that the SEC is intentionally malevolent, but all of the SEC's attorneys will now need to reconsider their choice because, guys, it is tarnishing their reputation. They aren't just earning a lot less than they could in the private sector, but they are also practically running a huge chance of having their reputation permanently damaged. Guys, the legal teams at the SEC were bad enough. This is not going to be helpful at all, in my opinion. To date, the SEC has not prevailed in a case involving cryptocurrency. Things like this will only make things more difficult. Never have I been more certain that Ripple has no cause for concern moving forward in the Ripple SEC lawsuit. Guys, Debtbox beats the SEC hands down. They suffered utter destruction. The SEC situation does not appear to be improving. But now I want to go on to something that is undoubtedly highly controversial and a very essential topic to talk about, and the Bitcoin market is actually experiencing that. At the moment, meme coins, NFTs, and cryptocurrency ventures with zero use are all skyrocketing, and Solana is where a lot of stuff is taking place. Guys, I felt this tweet was worth paying attention to when I saw it the other day. Mason posted a tweet stating, "Remember how cheap and easy it is to launch a quick blank coin on Solana? All you need to do, guys, is select a JPEG file from your phone and press create coin at the moment. This is the main factor fueling demand for Solana. This is the main factor in much of the activity. People are yo-yoing and gambling away their money. Guys, I know this is making returns at the moment. I am aware that this is generating activity at the moment. You can't, however, persuade me that this is how cryptocurrencies will develop in the future. You can't persuade me that the purpose of cryptocurrencies is to allow anyone to upload a JPEG file to their computer, generate a token, invest millions of dollars in it, and then take advantage of the token buyers. No, that is not the intended use. The use of cryptocurrencies is presenting a novel means of transferring wealth globally. This technology will serve as the foundation for a new financial system. However, that is not the construction that is taking place here. A pump and dump plan is being developed here to encourage retailers to pile on top of one another and pull the rug out from under one another. I'm not looking to invest in adoptions like this, guys. I don't believe that adoptions like this will succeed in the long run. This is the kind of thing that, in my opinion, is very bubble-like and will eventually fizzle out. Things like this are what I consider to be long-term sustainable, what I consider to be truly developing items that are going to last and create a solid name in the business. We learned earlier today that Ripple has won the title of Best DeFi Infrastructure Platform. Do you guys know what this implies, guys? The retail industry is unaware that Ripple has been named the finest DeFi infrastructure platform despite this announcement. Why? Since Ripple does not create goods on our behalf. It is not for me and you that they are developing DeFi programs built for the largest universities on the planet. Folks, this is what people are currently finding difficult to comprehend. Building products from the top down is what Ripple does. They are producing goods for the biggest banks and money transfer companies on the planet. They are aware that these various sizable financial institutions will pass these products around to their clientele. This is the approach that I think will succeed. I do not believe that Ripple is going to go on the internet and make a mint button where you can upload a JPEG image and get thousands of people to spend millions of dollars to be able to access it. Ripple is developing these kinds of systems, which will propel institutional-grade DeFi adoption and serve as the foundation for the financial system of the future. Guys, it goes beyond that. We also learned the other day that Ripple is proceeding to the second phase of its CBDC construction in Hong Kong. Ripple is developing these kinds of things in the background. Not some mint button for a JPEG to try and get people to rally with you. These are the kinds of things that will generate long-term sustainable acceptance, long-term volumes, and long-term demand for the digital asset XRP. These are the kinds of products that are currently unavailable in retail. These are the kinds of products that the market is not rewarding. But folks, I believe that will drastically alter. I believe that once we enter the next bull market, people will realize that this is true utility. The true adoption is this one. It is not appropriate to just transfer cryptocurrency from one person to another. They have more uses for them than merely posting JPGs online and charging ridiculous prices for them. There is a genuine chance that these cryptocurrency networks may establish a completely new financial structure, and collaborating with the top names on the planet is necessary to accomplish that. That's the strategy that Ripple has followed from the beginning, guys, and in the long run, this is the approach I think will succeed. Ripple is developing CBDCs for some of those populous jurisdictions on Earth, while everyone else is pumping food money into Solana. For the world's biggest institutions, Ripple is creating institutional-grade DeFi devices. Folks, this is the adoption that I think will succeed. I think this is the appropriate course of action. Yes, it's not available on the market at the moment, but that's because hype and retail FOMO are ruling the market at the moment. Folks, I don't think retail FOMO will be the primary factor in its long-term viability. I don't think that as cryptocurrency matures, retail FOMO will be what it becomes. This asset class, in my opinion, is much more than that. I believe that as this technology continues to advance, a great deal more building will take place. Guys, I believe Ripple is approaching this correctly. They appear to be acting responsibly, in my opinion, and in the long run, I believe that XRP will gain a lot from Ripple positioning itself in front of the organizations that matter, rather than using it as a get-rich-quick scheme. I sincerely hope this was helpful, people. We are living in an intriguing time in the market right now, where investors are fleeing from fundamentally sound initiatives and are increasingly supporting nonsensical ones. That, in my opinion, is going to drastically change. Finally, guys, I wanted to add something I kind of forgot about, so let me just quickly remind you that there will be a FOMC meeting tomorrow. Observing what transpires there will be crucial, as it will significantly impact the market's future. In other words, the Federal Reserve will not alter its approach to setting interest rates. The Federal Reserve won't be changing interest rates, as is very evident at this time, but people will be intently watching Jerome Powell's level of hawkishness or dovishness. I will be attentively monitoring that, guys. If he acts unduly hawkish, I believe it could provide a buying opportunity in the market. In any case, it's something I will definitely be watching.